What's up, guys? Welcome back to my channel. So today I'm bringing this video from you guys to you guys from London, UK. Special day. Actually, I only have 2 more hour and a half left until I turn 29. So this is my last video, me being 28, and I wanted to kind of go over and reflect back on what it's like to spend a year being 28, what I felt, what I thought about, what I've gone through, and kind of stuff and personal experience, and how that was different from when I was 27 last year. I want to kind of do a comparison and reflection back, how I thought about my life would be when I was 28 versus how I actually felt and then lived my life as a 28 years old guy, and my thoughts about turning 29 in an hour and a half. A lot about life reflection and coming from real, honest and a modest place. Wanted to share with you guys my thoughts. This is completely personal and subjective feeling and opinions. Reflection blog. So let's get started. So I definitely thought about I don't know where to start even, but I remember last year when I was just turning 28. I was in the past 1 year. A lot of stuff have happened. I remember last October was kind of my first time traveling to Europe after coming back from Czech Republic and Ukraine. Whole Central European and Eastern European tour that I did, and also a study abroad exchange back in 2015. And in 2017, October was first time back in Europe. I went to Poland and Serbia, Belgrade, for a total of 2 weeks, I guess. And then that kind of brought me back my old memory of what it's like to live in Europe, how close all the cities are, well connected, architectures and culture. That reminded me of that time that I had in Czech Republic, and that made me want to go back, have a life here. And then whole winter last year, spent researching about, if there's any path to, find a job or have a lifestyle in Europe. So I started researching about it 3 months, 4 months, 5 months straight, every night, coming back home from work. I basically sat in front of my computer screen, researched on forums like Reddit, Quora, also a lot of research about visa information, tax, income tax, cost of living, salary information, all that, a lot of information. So I was doing that and also applying for a job. And then last March, I took another vacation for 3 weeks. This time I was visiting Munich, Germany, Vienna, Austria, Zagreb, Croatia, where else? Budapest, Hungary, Bratislava, Slovakia. Yes, Slovakia. So I did a whole tour again. This time it's more focused on kind of seeing the cities, possible cities that I'm gonna live in the future, like Vienna. I was kind of narrowing down my search down to Vienna and Munich and Netherlands. I was gonna almost go to Amsterdam that trip, but I realized I wouldn't want to kind of live in Amsterdam, so basically narrowed down to Munich and Vienna. So I did that, and then during the vacation, I got a job offer. I remember it was in Budapest, so I was emailing with my laptop, Windows, 80 years old Windows laptop from my college, and a keyboard. Some keys are not working, and I remember I was, copy pasting some characters from some website to respond back to email. It's so tiring and cumbersome. I remember that, but that was I got initial email in Budapest, and I made a phone call while I was in Munich, from the company in Munich. And then last May, I did a fitness show, men's physique fitness competition. And then I quit my job in Canada, moved to Munich. It was a big life move again. I was pretty anxious about it because this path from moving from North America to Europe is pretty rare. Most people, engineers, want to move from Europe to North America for money reason and a culture thing, more open culture. So I was a little anxious, but after a month, maybe 3 weeks, 4 weeks, I kind of got regained confidence that my decision was right, and I still firmly believe that my decision was right. I definitely, at the end of the day, I followed my heart, my intuition, my gut feeling, and my soul, and it was right. Work-life balance, lifestyle-wise, this is what I wanted. And then August, took I think 7-8 days vacation in Ukraine, one in Kharkiv and another one in Kiev. And then from mid of September to mid of November, 2 months, I took another vacation. This time I really wanted to do like 2 months or like 1 month or 2 months long, kind of a vagabond, a vacation where I can stay in one city for like 1 week each, so that I can actually really appreciate and see the cities inside and out, instead of like rushing, like squeezing everything in a tight vacation schedule. So I did that from Helsinki down to Estonia, Tallinn, Latvia, Riga, Lithuania, Vilnius, and then Warsaw, Poland, and Ukraine, Kiev. Again, food is amazing. Everything cheap. I loved it. Poland, Warsaw, and Kiev. And then I flew to Taipei, Saigon, Ho Chi Minh City, which was dirty, smelly, and I didn't like that. Now I want to go back to Bangkok actually. But then after Saigon, I flew to Japan, spent a week and a half, I think 1 week. Yeah, a week in Japan, basically seeing my relatives, cousins, uncles, my family, and then came back to Munich again. So that was my last 1 year. I was 28 years old. Big life move, but actually when I think back about my 2018's New Year's resolution, one of the biggest things, my goals was move to Europe, and another one was fitness competition, both of which I accomplished it. Both of which I accomplished by the halfway through in 2018. So amazing. And career-wise, I'm continuously learning and innovating and getting more responsibility, vacation, more blah blah blah. So that's basic facts about my 20 years, a year of me in 28 years old. Sorry, my throat is a little dried up now. But from an emotional perspective, a lot of stuff. It's so like, if I think about it, beginning this year, I'm 28 years old, and then second half are so far different because my first half was based in North America and the second half is based in Europe. And then during this last 1 year span, I took 1 to 3 vacations. First one right in the beginning from October, Europe, Central Europe. And then March, Europe again. Not the Western Europe, excluding Munich and Vienna. And then summertime is Eastern Europe, Ukraine. And the fourth time in, Scandinavia, like Finland, and then Baltics, and Poland, Ukraine, and then Asia. So first half, I can't quite remember what it's like. It's a long time ago. I mean, I've been in Europe for like half a year now, more than that, June to November. So I don't almost feel like it was my life, half a year ago. in North America. It was like a long time ago, I feel like. Emotionally, though, I grew a lot, especially by reading books, self-development, personal growth related books. So beginning of 2018, as a New Year's resolution, I decided to get back on personal growth and self-development journey. So only because I got settled down in my career for like 2-3 years, and I kind of got comfortable, and I realized also that this is a time really I need to get back on reading, because the my kind of if I use a knowledge like a bank account where I store my wisdom and knowledge learned from books and smartest people in the world, the reservoir of wisdom and knowledge were drying up because I haven't read and I haven't updated my brain knowledge, pool of knowledge. So it was time for me to kind of really get back and then front load and invest a lot of time to learn. So I wanted to do that in 2018 beginning. I started off with how to win friends and influence people, then after that was Mastery by Robert Greene, Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck after. Also, I spent quite a bit of time in preparing for job interviews. To that time, I postponed reading. But after I got back on the Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck, after that, Man's Search and Meaning by Viktor Frankl, As a Man, Thinketh, what else? And then The Code of the Extraordinary Mind, that's 8th book this year. And I'm also listening to Mastery by Robert Greene on audiobook right now. So 8 books finished, right? And these books definitely influenced quite a bit, especially Man's Search and Meaning, the Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck, definitely influenced my view about how I look at my life, especially mortality, especially about how I interpret and perceive events, external events that I don't have a full control over, and how I interpret, and I choose to react against those events. Because no matter what can happen to my life, I can still choose to retain a right, still choose to retain how I react to events, even if some of the events are completely independent of my control. So I started looking like that, and then mortality thing as well. And then also, basically, I was looking for finding a meaning in my life, especially 28, and then I traveled, took vacations, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, for 3 times, 4 times. And I've been to almost all the places that I wanted to, money-wise, saving. And I don't own house or car mortgages, just a student loan. And then I was paying off almost of the student loan. So I was basically, going, after traveling to many countries, I know that initial intense feeling that I got from new country, new culture fades away eventually. So after that, it is about not really about going to finding a new place that gives you that new feeling, but it is about finding meaning. I read that from Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck by Mark Manson. He traveled to 100 countries, and he said after 4th, 10th, 15th, it gets kind of old. So the first few times the nightclub is super different, but 100th or 105th times the nightclub or 100th country experience, it's not so much as compared to 4th or 5th country. He said that it is not about newness, but it is about commitment. It is about responsibility that gives you more meaning. About working, for example, we are driven by work. We are driven by responsibility. We are driven by meaning. And that ties into the Man's Search and Meaning. I'm pretty sure Mark Manson read Man's Search and Meaning before he wrote his book, but so I read Man's Search after. And it is about attaching a meaning above and beyond yourself. It could be something special task or for someone. So for me, 20 years, 28, I've done almost everything that I wanted to in terms of traveling, in terms of buying stuff. I bought a full-frame Sony Alpha 7 Mark II, and I'm a minimalist, so I don't really want to buy anything. Only thing that I want to buy or curious about is not even right now, but before I was a camera or drone, but I don't really have any materialistic needs, so not really. And then I realized, how can I spend my time and money? What do I want to do the rest of my life? That was my question, and that led me to read Learn Such a Meaning and various books about how can I live happy life? How can I have a good life? That was kind of good questions that I had, and then reading books, and then they all talk about meaningful, work and life and a purpose, and then I completely agree. We need to have a meaning. We have too many ends. We have too many means to live. Means in terms of money, in terms of technology, in terms of everything. We have, in this modern world, we are overloaded by means to live, but we don't have enough meaning to live for life. And that was so true. And it was enlightening. Spot on. So that was me basically relearning about learning, opening my eyes to meaning of life. Also in terms of my life trajectory, where I'm gonna go from 28 to 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, I thought a lot about which country or city I'm going to settle down for future family, if I have kids. I thought a lot about that when I was thinking about a move to Europe. Basically, tax system, education system, social welfare system. If I get sick, if I get fired, would my family be protected? Was that a social security net? So definitely, United States was off due to that thing. And then in Germany, free education, social welfare, pretty nice. So definitely, I wanted to have the base here for future kids' education and life. And then going onward, maybe by 32 or 33, definitely I might have kids. I just kind of vaguely feel like that, but I'm not sure. But anyways, so I started thinking about life from if you have 80 years life, and then 40 as a midway high point. So basically by 40, right, you're halfway through, and then by the point by observation and conventional wisdom, by 40, you're gonna be a little bit more wrinkly. You're more than senior level. Your career just past a peak point. So you're, until 10 more years or 15 more years, usually 10 more by 50. So 40 years old, your sex drive as a guy goes down. You're gonna be much more under pressure, responsibility at work. So you're gonna have totally different paradigm in life by 40, right? So probably you're not gonna be interested in different things maybe not so much same kind of traveling, maybe different kind of traveling, more nature oriented, in terms of hobbies, in terms of dating or romance or romantic feeling. It'll be completely different probably. So I thought a lot about by 40 I probably wouldn't be as sexually, I don't know, driven or active, or if I'm overwhelmed by so much work responsibility, then that's quite a bit of possibility. If you're just tired, then you're gonna have lower, but you can definitely slow down that process of that. But basically, you're gonna have much more meaning and responsibility when you're 40. So I'm kind of guessing that 40 is a halfway through the 80 years old life model, and then if I'm turning 29, 30, then I'm 10 more years, only 10 years left. Now, if you think about dating, if you're, kind of being flexible, having options or dating around while kind of maintaining the work and the life stuff, you only have 10 more years. And then definitely you don't want to, waste your time. So definitely from 35 to 40, I don't think I want to just fuck around. I mean, not actual physical fuck around, but like in terms of wasting time, kind of just a casual dating around. I probably don't want to do that. I mean, this is just a hypothetical talk if I don't have kids or something. But definitely, so if I think about that from 35 to 40, I probably wouldn't, waste time because I don't think it adds much meaning to me or my life. So from meaningful perspective, probably 35 to 40, I wouldn't do that. So realistically speaking, from 28 to 35, I only have like 6 years of a serious dating period. Really, enjoying that, or like having the ability to focus to in terms of energy level too, like testosterone level goes down, focus level goes down, physical strength, everything goes down after 25 for a guy, or the correlated with the testosterone level. So really from 28 to 35 is like a peak for a guy in terms of energy, in terms of hormone, in terms of focus. You can definitely prolong that, but anyways, so that was my take. So if I look back on my life, have a bird's eyes view, big picture, really, it's that. And it's not much time left. Seeing my parents turning 60 this year, it's like by 60, you're like grandma, grandpa, right? So it's a completely different life from 60 years old. So maybe by 40, 40. So 10 more years or 11 more years, only that, when you can feel kind of young or free, So 28 and 29, I thought I'm going to have unlimited amount of time for like when I was mid-20, I thought I would have, so much time, so much more to explore, so much things to do, blah, blah, blah. But it was different. I thought like that, but, you can quickly kind of run out of all the options because traveling wise, once you cross all the countries, checkbox, you get bored. Same food, same with movies. I almost watched most of the famous movies, right? Same as books, probably. Now I'm kind of expanding, so I have a lot of books to read. But if I've gone through all the book lists that I wanted to read, then I might feel the same way. But in terms of like a career, in terms of a human relationship, like dating stuff, I've kind of seen like all kinds of like the types of people or human relationships and potentials, where it leads to common patterns, human pitfalls. So it's not really so much new things that are unexplored yet. I feel like I've kind of already explored. So from now on, it's more about finding out subtleties in life, small things. That's what I realized about 28. It's not about doing new things or doing something intense. It's about finding a little small subtleties and nuance in culture, communication, food, human relationship, traveling. It's more nuanced traveling. It's not about going to Paris and then see the Eiffel Tower, or going to London and then see Big Ben, or going to Tokyo and see, Kinkakuji or Sensoji and Asakusa. It's not that. It's not about going to Las Vegas and see the Grand Canyon. Once you've done that, you can't keep doing it. You travel to London, Paris, Amsterdam, Prague, blah, 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 Thailand, Bangkok, Taipei, Japan, New York, California. You exhaust all the options, and what are you going to do, right? Then you turn your focus to not so much about the external things, the meaning-wise. You focus, your focus shifts inward as opposed to outward, and then your focus is more like on the subtleties and nuance. That's 28. Wonderful day. The rest of the year, 18. Good luck. Opportunities prefer the only prepared mind. Opportunities prefer the only prepared mind. So all you gotta do, all the choices you have right now, is to be prepared. Prepare personal growth, read, work out, meditate, work hard, smarter. If you want to get more, you need to have more. if you want to have more, if you want to have or get more, you need to become more. So increase your damn value every day. With that said, I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.